Oh, Frog, what do you have here? Let me see. Is this the latest V3 magazine for the HK417? Oh, wait, what's in here? Nice. Bam. Welcome to a new episode of Frog Appendix. Today we are looking at the long-awaited third generation of the HK417 HPA GBBR conversion. First question that comes obviously, is it compatible with M110A1? Of course it is, because M110A1 is just a different looking HK417. Internally it's the same. Of course it has some updates, upgrades and so on. I did a video actually explaining what changed and how much they updated the M110 compared to the older HK417s. You can watch this video if you are interested. But for this Frog Appendix, the topic is the third generation of the conversion. This is an appendix video to the original Frog manual where I assemble it to the HK417. I explain everything that you need to do. It will be linked in the description of this video. And here I'm just gonna explain what is different in the third generation and actually in the latest release of the HK417, which is the M110. GBBR. Another new thing that we have is the V3 magazine. The difference with the magazine is that the capacity was increased from the original 40 rounds to 50 rounds right now, and the shells are printed right now of the FDM technology. They look much better and they are much more robust, especially in the stop area, compared to the resin which I was using earlier. Here for the magazine I already said everything. The models will be online, updated, and that's it. New magazines already available, get them for yourself. And now coming back to the conversion topic, we will have to check the M110 lower receiver to explain one thing, and then I'll explain the difference in the conversion assembly, so conversion goes away. Okay, and I said lower receiver, so let's remove the rear and front pin. Let's take it off. The point is that in the latest release of the M110, and I expect it will be the same for all the VFC HK417s now, also G28s and so on, the firing pin retainer is missing. So I recorded an appendix for the M110 SASS or K1 based on the SR25 for the conversion to HPA, where I also said that if you are missing this part you need to buy it because it won't work on HPA. And here they also removed it. So this is something that is a problem for all the HPA builds, not just for my conversions, but generally for all HPA taps through the magazine and so on. If you don't have this part, the gun will not work. For example, for this reason, French shop Power 6, which sells some of the GBBRs, they are selling these parts separately. Normally nobody was selling them separately, but now they are selling these parts separately because they do the builds where they tap the magazine for you and you receive a GBBR with tapped magazine. This doesn't work for them. They need to have these parts in stock and assembled there, so you can buy this part there. If not directly from VFC or from some shop in Taiwan, you need the part and the spring. And of course, if you are buying the conversion, you can buy it together with this pin and the spring. You don't need to order it separately. We can provide you the conversion together with this part to simplify the process. Of course, I'm well prepared and I have the part and the spring and I know the catalog numbers for them, so I will put them in the video description. If you'd like to buy them, it will help you find them. So this is something that I will be assembling after I do the modification for the conversion. I will put everything back, including this part. So for now, let it rest here. And now I need to take this part out because the conversion goes under the firing pin block. So like you can see in the original video, the conversion will drop in here like this and will be held from the top by the firing pin retainers. So like here there is nothing maybe especially new, but what you can see already is that this conversion actually is self-retained in the receiver. This is because the real part of the conversion here was redesigned to do exactly this, so fit much better into the receiver. And also on this side there is this feature with a hole added. Previously it was just a tiny piece of aluminum and you were making a very tiny groove here to like a cutout for this, and when the retainer was on top of the conversion, it prevented the rotation around this screw. This was the only reason. However, I saw that some people who were, let's say, not so skilled with handling with these parts broke this off, yeah? So then you had to fix it, maybe add a screw or something, file it to the same shape and so on. So here there will be the most robust solution, which is basically this kind of shape. And when I will be modifying this VFC part, I will need to copy this shape here onto the firing pin retainer, not just make the groove like I explained in the original video, but this kind of the cutout and shape has to be added here, and only then the firing pin retainer will fit on top. Yeah, so that's the whole change. It's pretty minor, it doesn't really affect much. This is something that you will need to do basically. As this shape is not so straightforward like this one, for example, I won't be explaining right now the dimensions and so on. I'll put a link to my Codes account where you will have a drawing, and on this drawing there will be dimension shown for this rear part, and what you will have to do is follow this instruction on the shape here, do it like described on the Codes, and then the conversion will fit nicely. Yeah? And that's all. So in this case, I'm just gonna show you this fitting right now, meaning I'm gonna modify this part first and then assemble it to the receiver, show you the result, and this would be all. And here is my modified part, and you can see how it fits here nicely. Yeah, the dimensions will be in a drawing on my Codes. So when I have this, I can just do the regular assembly with this small addition. So adding this part here, okay, and this part, if I put the gun like this, okay, nothing's running out. And now just put the screws back and tighten it properly. One thing I did not say, of course, the dimension for the height of this rear tab on the conversion, it has to be tiny bit smaller than the dimension, I mean the cutout has to be tiny bit smaller than the dimension on the conversion, yeah, because you want this to be not like loose, but the firing pin retainer has to push on it, yeah. So if the thickness is, for example, 3 millimeters, then you need to do like 0.1, 0.2 less, yeah, than this. Okay, screw it in, and voila, the conversion is assembled. It self-positions very nicely here, so if I take my magazine right now and I insert it, there are like no issues, yeah. So it's actually much simpler than it was previously. The only difference is that you need a bigger cutout on this side of the firing pin retainer lever, yeah. Okay, now I will finish the assembly, meaning, you know, bolt catch, all of this. The rest is completely the same as I show in the original manual. Okay, and now the last thing you can, let's say, control, but this is actually nothing new. When you pull the bolt carrier back, the nozzle should stay in place, yeah. This means that the conversion is on the correct height. In my case it stays. You can look deeper there if the nozzle touches to the seal, but you know, everything's just fine. In some of the guns I've heard that in the previous conversion generation it was kind of too low and the people had to shim it, so I did not mention it, but actually the conversion compared to the attachment point was lifted like 0.5 millimeter, I think, and this is to improve that topic. And that's all. I'm gonna proceed with this build to finish it, but this is not something for the video. So for now, thank you so much for this Frog Appendix. For the rest of the process, please relate to the original assembly manual video linked in the description. Conversions are available for purchase with the brand new 50 round magazines, all the good stuff. Comment, subscribe, like, hit the notification bell. And we finish this video to start the next one with the next exciting topic. For now, may the power of GBBR be with you.